back to the Daily Grind. Thanks for checking out the channel. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back pickle biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
Brand new UFC contender Josh Emmett is hoping for a top contender fight versus Brian Ortega, and maybe what is a little bit of wishful thinking. He joined Ariel Helwani on the MMA Hour today, and I say it's a little wishful thinking because, yo, Josh Emmett, I fucking love the dude already. I'm a new fan. I only watched his last fight, to be honest. It was versus Ricardo Lamas. He went from unranked to top 5 contender in one fight. When he came in there short notice, replaced Jose Aldo, who had to step up and fight Max Holloway. So Josh Emmett stepped in to fight Ricardo Lamas, one of the top 5 ranked, longtime top 5 ranked featherweight contenders in the UFC, and boom, shocked the world, left hook, took down Ricardo Lamas. And on the mic after he got that huge upset, Josh Emmett, said, hey, I'm open for a rematch. Or in the post-fight press conference, he said, yo, he gave me this opportunity. I even missed weight, you know what I'm saying? Because that is one well, that's a little bit of a reason why this is also wishful thinking, because he did his job for sure. He's on everybody's radar, Josh Emmett. But now he's calling for a fight with Brian Ortega, who essentially earned a title fight in his last fight versus Cub Swanson. Brian Ortega just fought Cub Swanson in the main event of UFC Fresno, I believe on the same card. These guys were fighting on the same card. And after that, Brian Ortega, he said, I'll wait for Frankie Edgar. Frankie got injured. He injured his eye, training to fight for the title. So I'll wait for Frankie Edgar if I have to. But I feel like I deserve the title shot. Now, this fight could be scheduled. Don't get me wrong. Josh Emmett versus Brian Ortega. Let's say Brian Ortega does want another fight before a title shot. Or let's say Josh Emmett, for whatever reason, Ricardo Lamas don't rematch. This fight very well could happen because Max Holloway just beat Jose Aldo, so we don't know when he's going to fight Frankie Edgar, but we're all under the impression Frankie Edgar's next. Well, if Brian Ortega doesn't want to wait for the entire build-up of that, maybe they fight on the same card, you know what I'm saying? UFC, I don't know, 222, 223, you got Max Holloway versus Edgar, and also Ortega versus Emmett. Who knows? I'm just saying the possibilities, but the reason why Ortega might not take this fight with Emmett is because, as I said, he just beat Cub Swanson. He's only got one fight left on his contract, I believe, Brian Ortega does. And he also might feel like he wants the title shot. Now, Josh Emmett, this would be a good fight, but my question is, do you guys think he should be rematching Ricardo Lamas next? And it's interesting because I really appreciated the fact that Josh Emmett himself said, hey, he accepted this fight. I didn't just take this fight on short notice. He had to accept the fight. After Jose Aldo pulled out, he could have said no to me. And then I missed weight. He could have said no then, too. So he missed weight by a couple of pounds. Ricardo Lamas still took the fight, and he upset Ricardo Lamas, took his spot in the rankings. I don't know where Ricardo Lamas is ranked now, but this guy was unranked. Boom. He's probably somewhere 6 or 7 Ricardo Lamas now because this guy took his spot from unranked. So, it would be dope to see Ricardo Lamas get that immediate rematch to kind of, the thing is, it was a knockout. Whenever Luke Rockhold got knocked out by Michael Bisping, Dana White said, hey, you just got knocked out. You shouldn't be talking rematch. Luckily for Ricardo Lamas, Josh Emmett, the guy that did the knocking out, was like, yo, I'll give him the fucking knockout. And also, he missed weight, so maybe, it's not like Michael Bisping missed weight versus Luke Rockhold and then knocked out Rockhold. So, I'm fine with this fight if Josh Emmett gets scheduled versus T-City Brian Ortega. I'm also fine if this fight doesn't happen. Let's say it's Josh Emmett versus Ricardo Lamas too. But I do like if Josh Emmett didn't come out and say this versus Brian Ortega, shit, I would have just been waiting on him to get rescheduled for the rematch. Now it's good, even if it's wishful thinking, it's good to put it out in the fucking air because do you guys want to see it? If so, now you'll let the fucking MMA stratosphere know. Let's get Josh Emmett versus Brian Ortega. I mean, it's a fight that could happen. Brian Ortega undefeated featherweight contender on his way up to a title fight, and now he could fight Josh Emmett, who's got a lot of fucking hype, a lot of momentum right now coming off of that Ricardo Lamas win. Josh Emmett, he could get fast-tracked to a fucking UFC title. What if he goes from unranked to knocking out Ricardo Lamas to beating undefeated Brian Ortega to title fight in 2018, yo? Josh Emmett, that was a big win with Ricardo Lamas. We'll see how they move forward with this. We'll see what happens. Let me know in the comments if you guys want to see Josh Emmett versus Brian Ortega, or if you think Brian Ortega should wait for the title fight, or even if you think Josh Emmett should be rematching Ricardo Lamas. It is what it is, man. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. I'm out.
Da 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 da. It's the motherfucking DOWG.